Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me on another episode of The Chamber Within. The whole reason for the name of my channel is from the idea that we have a room within us, deep within. Through this room, we have access to lots of information if we care to sit still long enough to listen. My awakening has strengthened through my ability to learn how to sit in still in silence and meditate, learning how to be with me, the inner me, and to filter out the constant noise we often pay attention to. We all have a chamber within us. Many times I allow the subjects to come to me when I am deciding to post about something I think would be helpful or important to hear. I don't chase it, I don't research to see what is hot this week in the spiritual world, for instance. Like last night, the Lionsgate Portal, which is a celestial event that happens during the season of Leo, is supposed to be an energetic portal or an opportunity for manifestation, but I only know this because it was all over my TikTok. And my daughter mentioned the moon last night as she saw it, so I shared that with her since she's a Leo, if she cares. But I'm not really into moon cycles, nor do I fully understand them, to be honest. But I do know that it's important for other people. And I just say that as a qualifier because I just go with what hits me or what comes to me. And this topic that came to me was trust. Trusting in yourself, your inner wisdom, your inner guidance, how to learn what it means and how it feels when you have finally accessed it, right? So, what I am interested in is the knowledge of chakras. I have personally had experience with them, and so this information excites me. Back on episode 3, where I described sitting down to meditate and heard a voice that answered me with my question that I did not say out loud, um, that episode, I mentioned how the response I got was, "It's already done." And at that time, I felt an expansion in my chest that encapsulated my heart and stretched outward and all around me in a 360 fashion with warmth and feelings of love. This experience guided me to listen more to the voice within that I had just discovered existed. That I know was from my heart chakra. Now, the trust is from the solar plexus chakra, where we process our emotions. This is in the stomach. So, if you ever get nervous because of this, you have an upset stomach, or you get scared and feel the dropping of your stomach as it experiences existential dread, this is also one of our guidance systems. So, we call it a gut feeling because intuition lies here too. So, being aware of this allows us to learn discernment through feeling. The reason it's so important that you are less likely to be controlled when you stand in your knowing. You're not swayed by fear, chaos, or misinformation. You learn to lean into your own knowing and, quite honestly, your own safety. Constantly co creating a world where you know you're safe and divinely guided, deeply loved, and cared for, like the guides from the Selig books say often. And most importantly, this is where you learn to create your own boundaries and stand in them without waver. In times of great stress, chaos, and worry, you can use this particular affirmation to help soothe yourself, which is from Louise Hay. And it goes like this: All is well, everything is working out for my highest good, and out of this situation, only good will come, and I am safe. Now, there are variations like all is well, things are working out for me, but you can modify this any way you need to. But I love affirmations because it helps to clear the negative thoughts that we tend to have in moments where we may be lacking trust, or I should say, lacking the ability to trust in our well being. Now, there is trust there, but the trust is in the negativity. So, this is a great way to turn it around and steer our vehicle, our emotional vehicle, in the direction that serves us. Trust was a big lesson for me as I many times over carried doubt about my life, doubt about my worth, and so on. Ever since my awakening, I have had moments of clarity, too many to count actually, and slowly but surely I learned to gain trust. I listened to my gut over my mind. And that was another great gift that I have had along my spiritual awakening. So I'll give you an example. One day I was worried about my daughter as she was about to drive an hour and a half away as a new driver, and then back that same day. So I walked into my bathroom as she prepared to head out and thought of what could possibly go wrong on her trip by herself. Of course, as a mom, I was worried to death as she was learning to gain independence. At that moment, in my bathroom alone, I heard a voice on my left side say, "She's all right." The voice was tender, and every time I have heard my personal guide audibly, I also felt a warmth of love around me, particularly on my left hand side of my body. So I'm not sure. I have ideas of where that came from, um, but I know that it is always on my left hand side. And now these two factors gave my mind rest, the warmth and the message. And it has allowed me to trust that she was indeed all right. A higher power or something outside of myself, or maybe it's something within, but feeling and hearing helped me a lot. And so whenever I begin to find myself worrying about her, I remember those loving words and have extended this message into perpetuity so as not to worry about her again. I know she also has not come here alone and has her own team of guides with her. So I stay with that. She's all right, no matter the situation. And it has been, I want to say 4, maybe 5 years since I heard that message, and it has helped me. Now, of course, this was an intervention, right? A spiritual intervention. But this boost helped me to relax into the reality that maybe I at times was creating my own hell by thinking of the worst things that could possibly happen. I've since learned to not do that 80% of the time. But when the 20% still arises, I say to myself, all is well. I do this to ground myself into the love and protection that is always with us. I don't say me, I don't say my family, all of us. Should we allow it in? Should we learn how to allow this safety in? And for that, I am grateful. I know that you are not unlike me. You also have a team. You also have loving guidance and an inner guidance system. As far as decision making, trusting the gut gets easier with practice. You know what is right for you, but following it up with action, regardless of how it looks to others, is key. Follow your first mind, my dad used to say. This is what I interpret as our gut instinct. It happens so quickly that we question the first mind or our gut and then change our mind because of fear. Can you remember the times where you have said to yourself, I should have stayed with my first decision, or I should have trusted the first reaction to the situation? And if so, that's what I mean. Now, a really cool test I learned was that if you need to make a decision, flip a coin. If you get your answer, heads or tails, and you say, man, I wish I got the other side of the coin, then that's your gut telling you that you knew the answer all along. Last week I spoke of spiritual training wheels in episode 19, and this is connected to that, right? So we're learning how to acknowledge our subtle energy body. That which gives this body life will help you greatly in your path forward. You are no longer being told what to do, how to be, what to like, what to love, who to hate, and so forth. You're being led by your own energy body, the system that leads with love, trust, and knowing. Not being forced to be a carbon copy of another person, but the uniqueness, which is you. Now, one of my favorite books is the Book of Secret Wisdom. In it, it explains how the body is gross mass and the spirit is subtle energy. This is translated from the Zen Czar by Zinovia Dishkova. That's the author, Zinovia Dishkova, if you would like to look it up. So the subtle energy moves quietly, and we have to learn to attune to this information, this energy within us. We learn to do this because we want to gain the true wisdom, the truth about who we are, instead of being taught or being led to uh, the lie that which tells us we are powerless. And for me, step one was trust. It has not failed me since. Now, an anointing is a level of trust that we have in our belief that things are working out for us. Can we surrender to the idea that we are loved, that we are guided in this love, that we are worthy of receiving this love, and to the idea that the love we give is worth receiving? Because we are the extension of Source. We're the branches that extends outward, also in perpetuity, as we go on in different lives and continue to affect one another in a positive way. Hopefully, in a positive way. We have choice every moment of our lives. We are either choosing love or choosing fear. That's it. Love is healing, fear is destructive, and creates more fear. Be mindful of this. Listen to your body. Your gut will not fail you in your decision making. If you can, I suggest try listening to it. Give it a try and see what happens. Thank you. If you would like to know about the books that I derive my information from, you can certainly follow me on TikTok, where I share personal stories and quotes from a large list of books that I've read during my awakening over these past 5 years. My TikTok handle is at the _chamber_within. Really, I don't know why I said the. So it's THE_CHAMBER_WITHIN. You'll be able to see the quotes and my stories, or if you'd like a more comprehensive list, you can click on my Stand Store link, where I share the knowledge that I've received from each and every book and the benefits a particular book may have in store for you. There's a breakdown for each of the books. I have a list of 45 in total. So you can certainly check that out if you'd like. You can also send in your questions. I'd love to make this channel more interactive by helping those along their spiritual path. You can email me at thechamberwithin@yahoo.com, or message me on TikTok if you want to go that route. That's fine too. Thank you so much for listening, and you have a great week ahead. Bye-bye.